Okay, so just a quick video here comparing the quality of freeze and flatten versus resampling audio. I've just had some discussion or heard some talk that freeze and flatten isn't as good as resampling. It definitely works differently, and we won't go into that in this video, but if you do a very straightforward experiment, I'd just like to clear that up. So we have over here just a sort of one-shot type sample of someone hitting a baking tray. I've then duplicated the track here, and I've just gone right-click, freeze, and then flatten. So that's already been done. It does put it into what looks like a stereo. Well, it is a stereo file, but it's still mono sounding. So the left and the right side of this are exactly the same thing. They're perfectly in phase. So that's what's going on there. And then I also, with this turned off, so if you imagine that just not there, I resampled the original into a new audio track just by turning resampling on and hitting record. And that also has resampled that into stereo file, but both left and right are exactly the same, so essentially they sound mono. Now a quick way to compare the difference between these, if any, is it's easier just to go into the range window here, and there's a couple of ways of checking whether or not these are the same thing. So I've just turned the original off here and I've got these two. So if I hit play with only one on, it's just a little bit quieter. They appear to sound the same, but to be absolutely sure that they are the same thing, sort of bit for bit or sample for sample, we can compare them here. So if you look at the waveform of these two files, this one and this one, they are exactly the same. Yeah, so there's literally no difference between these two. And another way to test that, that there is or isn't a difference, is I just put this utility plugin on, and I've turned the phase swap for left and right, so I've just turned them both on. If I now play back the two files, so the two freeze and flatten and also the resampled one, it should cancel out. Yeah, so you're hearing dead silence there, which is what you'd expect, and then if we turn that off, you're basically hearing double of them. So in this experiment, it clearly shows that there's no difference at all between freeze and flatten versus resample for this purpose. You would use these differently in context, but just for a quality experiment, that's the answer. There is no difference.